Hi guys, welcome to Moonchild BTS Tarot. So today, as the last reading in the series of 2020 prediction for BTS members, we're having RM on Namjoon today, and straight up right off the bat, what I can see is a lot of great achievements. Like it's really big, it's huge. We have the double ten of cups or 10 of chalices, and we also have the two food more, and one is in Virgo, and Namjoon's sign is Virgo. So yes, right off the bat, like what grabs my attention in this reading is huge achievement, and it's probably, it is what he wanted, it is what he could kind of like imagine, what he wished for, but at the same time he wouldn't be able to believe it, that he would finally achieve these goals or these ambitions. So yeah, this year is gonna be really big. But let's just have a look at the tarot cards first. um what I can see from these tarot cards, first of all, what I said about the 10 of chalices, 10 of cups, and I always love the repetitions of cards in the reading. I use two different tarot decks, so when the cards repeat themselves, I get super thrilled. It says something, and the message is so much stronger. So with the 10 of chalices, 10 of cups, it feels like the achievement or the fulfillment is not just with career, it's also with his emotions and possibly relationship and love life as well, if he has any, or just in general his relations with other people around him, the connections and the energies, the vibes between him and the people that he appreciate, or that is very close to him, is just gonna be really good and just really comfortable, and high vibrations. He will feel super good, like there's nothing to worry about. His relationship with other people, or his interactions or connections with other people around him. The Queen of Pentacles, to me, it speaks about, it also speaks about achievement and ambitions and goals, and something that he's been nurturing, and something he's been putting in a lot of effort into, a seed that he has grown for years, and he has put everything he is into these seeds, and hope that it will bear fruit, and finally, not like finally, but the fruits are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But also I see he might have a really strong emotions for someone important in his life, and he hasn't been able to express that, or he hasn't been able to get it across to the other person. Say if he has a love interest, he hasn't been able to confess. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's what I feel. It's like the woman, the Queen of Pentacles, is holding her everything, like all of her possessions and all of her valuable things in her arms, and she wants to give it to someone that she really treasures, but she hasn't been able to. She worried that the feelings might not be mutual, or that she worries that if she gives all of her valuable things away, there will be nothing left for her. She'll be left empty, and she would feel lost, and she would lose something. But when it comes to emotions and relationship and love, the more you give, the more you get. That's, yeah. So I feel like Namjoon might be stuck in a situation where he wants to express his love and feelings, but he hasn't been able to. Something is holding him back. Possibly the outside circumstances, as well as his kind of fear, like not like fear, but worries that it's not reciprocal. And then when we move to the Hermit and the Death card, so the Hermit to me is very much Namjoon. It's like someone who always on the seek for light, for the truth, or for a higher, for their higher self, or for a higher understanding of the world. Someone who was always lonely in his mind and lonely in his path. He's walking this path that no one else has ever walked before. And to me, it is very much Namjoon, because he's so smart, and the way he thinks is so different from other people. He's on another level, like the way he's always thinks ahead of everyone else, and the path that he set out for himself is his path only. Only him can walk that path. Nobody else can. And looking into this Hermit card, the moon is shining on him. The moon is showing him the way. The universe is showing him where to go. He's not alone. Though this is his own path, but he is not alone. There are other spirits in the magical forest as well, which he's walking through. He always have unconditional support from the member, from the fans, even from the universe. That's what I'm feeling from this card. Yes, I feel he's already very successful with BTS, but I feel like his ambitions, or his goal, or his ultimate, how to say it, like he wants, I feel like the biggest ambitions of Namjoon is to create, not to create, like, I don't know, to like a kind of union, or like a kind of like universal understanding of music and of art, like just to connect people, and to like open up a way for not only BTS but other artists, to break down barriers, and to show the world how amazing art and music can be. He has such a great mind, and great motivations. It's very inspiring, and is sometimes it is intimidating, his energy, but in a good way. He's so strong, and determined, and he is one of the really rare people that could change the world. With the Death card, I feel like something is coming to an end in his life, and this end is unavoidable. But when we say one thing end, so another thing can start. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that something comes to an end. It might even be a good thing, because when you get rid of certain energy, you make room for other things to come into your life. This, I think, because this death card is next to the hermit, so I feel like he still continues to learn, and the things that he learned will be totally different from whatever it is that he has always been, has always been in his mind, his opinion and perspective. Something this year would happen that would totally change his perspective. And it would probably change his path as well. But it doesn't necessarily change his, the final goals or ambitions or visions that he has. It's just a different way of achieving it. Moving on to the other card, the moon. The moon is just, it's funny, and it's thrilling when the moon appears in a reading for Namjoon, because he always called himself Moonchild. The moon is something really truly special to Namjoon. I think he connects to the moon at a level that I don't know, is quite special. I myself have a really special connection with the moon as well. So yeah, I feel like this year his intuition and his curation is growing really fast. Like it's growing at an incredible rate. Like he would be insanely creative and kind of dreamy this year. So I feel like any music that he produced this year is gonna be on the softer side, like dreamy side, and more artistic. Yeah, so it's kind of like soft and gentle and fluid, and like a flow of river, or because the moon card has a lot of blue in it, blue and gold. It makes me think of like water, and the night sky. So like in terms of his artistic side, I feel like it's gonna go a lot softer, and more emotions, and really deep, and it has this some sort of like dreamy sound to it. I'm really, now that I look at this card, I'm really looking forward to the new music that Namjoon will be producing this year. It's gonna be something. And then we have the Page of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. So with the Two of Pentacles, I feel like it always talks about making decisions or choosing between two things. Both of these things are good, and he has the ability to perfect both of these options. But he is being put in the position that he would have to choose either of those. And then with the Page of Pentacles, in reverse. So normally, if the Page of Pentacles, in the normal positions, I would say this person is in a really difficult time of contemplating and considering his options, and thinking whether or not to give his pentacles away, like to give up on something. But when it is in reverse together with the Two of Pentacles, I feel like Namjoon already knows which options he would go to. And he has always been quite determined, and he knows what he wants to do, he knows where he wants to go. So making a decision wouldn't be too hard for him. The funny thing is, I think three other members also have the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Swords. So I feel like career-wise this year, they are being asked to choose between two things. I don't know what it is. It's probably like either going solo or going as a band, because you know the enlistment is coming up on them, and they will have to enlist. So that might be an option. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But yeah, they definitely have to choose and have to make decisions. It's not going to be easy, but they all have the ability to perfect whatever it is that they choose. Because you know, very often when we are put in front of two options and then we choose option A, and then later on down the line we will be like, at some point we will be thinking, oh, we should have chosen the other one. The other one might be better than this one. No, that's not true. That's just what we tell ourselves. The thing is that whatever it is, it doesn't matter if you choose A or B. What matters is that how much effort you put into making your option the best one. You don't choose the better options, but you choose to make the options the better ones. Like it's all you're doing. So in this case, I feel like whatever it is that they choose to do, they still gonna try really hard to make it the best one possible. When we look at the oracle cards, we'll have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious, and also start up. How can you mother yourself? I think these two cards kind of go with his emotions and relationship wise. You know, because when it comes to relationship, someone as successful as he is, Namjoon is, he probably will have to be very careful with who he hangs out with, and who he makes connections with. But I think this year the cards are urging him to, you know, don't take everything too serious. Like if he likes someone or if he has a love interest, maybe he doesn't have to think too much about you know, responsibility and like images and reputations, fame, fans, expectations, and all that. Just have fun and think for himself a little bit. Like it's not a bad thing to get into a relationship. Like the thing is with K-pop, or the Korean showbiz is extremely harsh on idols. I don't understand it. Idols are also human. They have the right to love, to fall in love. And if they don't, you know, if they live for years without these precious emotions of being in and out of love, then how do they do art? Because emotions are the seeds of art. So if you expect them to do real art and to express themselves, then let them experience all the rawest emotion of human being, and that's how it should be. But sadly, they are being very constrained and controlled and expected to like reserve themselves for the fans and such, and I think that's ridiculous. I probably shouldn't say that. Many of you wouldn't want to hear that, but I said what I said, and we are all mature people. So why don't let them live like a human being? Or like, I don't know, American artists might be too free, but we should respect their private life and you know, how they feel. They are also human. And yeah, then we have openness. It's my true nature, or the moment I realign with love, clear directions is represented to me. Another funny thing is, the universe has your back. Oracle deck has, I believe, 54 cards, but somehow I managed to draw this particular card. Like the moment I realign with love, clear directions is presented to me. I managed to draw this particular card in like 5 times out of 7 or 8 times I read for BTS. So it's really saying something. I know they have always been talking about love, different type of love, and really appreciate and um, like highlight the role of love in people's lives, and I think they will continue to do so this year. Like encourage people to love more freely, and to just appreciate love, because love is everything. Love is the root of everything, and it doesn't have to be the relationship type of love. It can also be like you love your family, you love your friends, you love what you're doing. You don't have to define love. You just need to feel it. So you just have to feel it. So I think this year the message, they're gonna find a new way to express this message, but it all comes down to love. And on a personal level, it also I hope encouraging them to experience love themselves on different levels, and just being in love, and remind themselves that they are always loved. We also have received with love and appreciation and embrace your emotions. It's just always speak about the same thing. Emotions are extremely important, with especially especially with artists. Because I feel like BTS are very different from other K-pop bands, because they do what I call the honest music, the honest art. It comes from them. It comes from within them. So it's the most important for them to embrace their emotions, and transmit it into their music. That's why they've been really successful, because they speak themselves, and I believe they will continue to do so. Continue to show us their their emotions and messages, and continue to teach us, and to be with us on this long journey of becoming a better human being, I guess. And yeah, I've already touched up on these 2 full moon cards. One is in Virgo and one is in Aries. A fiery climax approaches, and you are good enough. To me, the full moon in Aries speaks to me about his career. Almost it goes hand in hand with the 10 of Cups, the 2 10 of Cups, and the Moon, or the Queen of Pentacles, is huge success and achievement. Also, I think with the new album coming up, possibly they will break a lot of record around like March or April. Something big is coming in April. That's what I'm feeling. So the album is coming out by the end of February. And I believe March and April now is kind of empty before they start their new world tour. So something really big is coming, or is being planned in April. Alright. you brace yourself for it. And full moon in Virgo, you're good enough. To me, this really speaks about his like personality and emotional, like it's really personal to Namjoon. No, he's such a great, he's a great human being. But I know it, and I know because he's so smart and he's like a genius, and geniuses always struggle with inside themselves. They always push themselves sometimes too hard to be better. So I feel like he needs to be told that he is good enough. And yeah, if going back to the possible love interest that I talked about before, he is good enough for this person that he likes. If he's probably afraid of all the things that all the bundles comes with his fame and being a top celebrity of the world, he's probably worried that he wouldn't be able to protect the one he loved, the ones that important to him. It's really difficult to be a celebrity these days. So I feel like he might worry that if he shows this person that he loves them, and if they are to be in a relationship, Namjoon wouldn't be able to protect his relationship or his connections or his partner. But he needs to trust himself. He is good enough. He can do it. And when it comes to relationship, when the two people trust each other, and when they love it, when they understand each other, and when they are meant to be, then nothing can come between them, and they just have to trust themselves and trust each other. So overall, I think this 2020 is going to be really excited for Namjoon. There are a few things that he needs to be like constantly reminded of, like trust himself and embrace his emotions and things like that. But he's such a smart man. He's such a genius. I think he knows his way through things. And it's gonna be a really great year. I can't wait. There's a lot of things to expect. And yeah, I think that's everything that I have for Namjoon for 2020. And that's it. This reading is getting a lot longer than the other ones. But yeah, I think the series is almost done, and I'm gonna upload the one that I did for BTS as a group. That one shouldn't be too long. I guess it's just a recap almost. I would kind of repeat myself from what I said in other members' reading as well. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this reading, and thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day.